Have you ever wished you could subtly influence someone's thoughts or actions? Imagine having the power to navigate social situations with ease, effortlessly persuading others, and even swaying decisions in your favor. What if I told you that you already possess this power, lying dormant within your mind? In this video, we'll unlock 9 powerful manipulation techniques rooted in psychology. These aren't about control in a sinister sense, but rather understanding the subtle cues and triggers that influence human behavior. Prepare to delve into the fascinating world of psychological manipulation and discover how these techniques can be used ethically to enhance your communication, build stronger connections, and give you that extra edge in any social setting. Let's begin our exploration with a technique so subtle, so ingrained in our natural behavior, that you've likely employed it unconsciously. Mirroring, as it's known, involves subtly mimicking the body language, gestures, and even speech patterns of the person you're interacting with. Think about a time you felt an instant connection with someone. Chances are, you were subconsciously mirroring each other's movements, creating an unspoken bond of empathy and understanding. Why does this work? Our brains are wired to seek out familiarity and similarity. When we see our own actions reflected back at us, it creates a sense of trust and rapport, making the other person more receptive to our ideas and suggestions. The key to effective mirroring is subtlety. Avoid overt imitation, which can come across as mocking or insincere. Instead, focus on subtle reflections, a slight tilt of the head when they lean in, a gentle nod when they make a point. These subtle cues signal agreement and understanding, paving the way for a deeper connection. Our next technique centers around a word so commonplace, so seemingly insignificant, that you might be surprised by its persuasive power. That word is because. You see, the human mind craves justification. When we're presented with a reason for a request, even if that reason is somewhat arbitrary, we're far more likely to comply. Consider this. Someone asks to cut in line ahead of you. If they simply say, "Excuse me, can I cut in front of you?" you might be inclined to refuse. But what if they added, "Excuse me, can I cut in front of you? Because I'm running late for a meeting." The addition of a reason, even a flimsy one, significantly increases the odds of you agreeing. This principle applies to countless situations. Need a favor from a colleague? Instead of simply asking, explain why you need it, even if the reason seems obvious. The word "because" acts as a mental shortcut, signaling to the listener that there's a valid reason for your request, increasing their likelihood of compliance. In a world saturated with noise and constant communication, silence has become a rare and powerful tool. Mastering the art of the strategic pause can dramatically enhance your impact in conversations and presentations. A well-placed pause can emphasize a point, create intrigue, and give your words time to resonate with your audience. Imagine a speaker delivering a captivating presentation. They reach a crucial point, a statement that demands attention. Instead of rushing ahead, they pause, allowing the silence to hang in the air, drawing the audience in, amplifying the weight of their words. This deliberate use of silence creates anticipation, focuses attention, and makes the message more memorable. The next time you're delivering a presentation or engaging in a crucial conversation, pay attention to the power of the pause. Use it to emphasize key points, create dramatic tension, and give your words the impact they deserve. Chapter 4. The Art of Silence. Unlocking Hidden Truths. Silence, as we've explored, can be a powerful tool for emphasis, but its applications extend far beyond punctuation. In the realm of persuasion and information gathering, silence can be your greatest ally. When met with silence, many people feel an inherent need to fill it, often revealing more than they intended. Imagine you're in a negotiation or attempting to extract information. You ask a question and the other person hesitates, reluctant to answer. This is where your silence becomes crucial. Resist the urge to jump in with another question or statement. Instead, maintain comfortable eye contact and allow the silence to linger. This can feel uncomfortable, even agonizing for the other person. The pressure to fill the void can lead them to elaborate, offering concessions or revealing information they hadn't planned to share. Mastering the art of silence in these situations requires patience and a keen sense of observation. Pay attention to their body language, their micro-expressions. Often the most revealing information is communicated not through words, but through the subtle cues we reveal when we think no one is watching. Chapter 5. First Impressions. Owning the Interview. In a competitive world, the ability to make a lasting impression is paramount, particularly in job interviews where first and last impressions hold significant weight. Studies have shown that we tend to remember the first and last things we hear or see, a phenomenon known as the primacy and recency effect. This principle applies directly to job interviews. If you're the first candidate interviewed, your presentation will be fresh in the interviewer's mind, setting the bar for those who follow. Conversely, if you're the last interviewee, your presentation will be the most recent they hear before making a decision. This doesn't mean you should panic if you're stuck in the middle. The key is to make your presentation memorable regardless of your position. Craft a compelling narrative, highlight your unique skills, and leave a lasting impression that sets you apart from the competition. Remember, an interview is not just about answering questions, it's about telling your story, showcasing your personality, and leaving the interviewer with a clear understanding of the value you bring. Chapter 6. The Proximity Trick: Diffusing Confrontation with Spatial Dynamics. Confrontation, while sometimes necessary, can often escalate into unproductive arguments. Our next technique delves into the subtle art of spatial dynamics and how proximity can influence behavior. Imagine you're facing a disgruntled customer or an angry colleague. Their body language is aggressive, their tone confrontational. Your instinct might be to create distance, to put a barrier between you and their anger. However, counterintuitive as it may seem, moving closer, subtly reducing the physical space between you, can actually diffuse the situation. This technique, often employed by negotiators and law enforcement, plays on our innate discomfort with invading personal space. By moving closer, you're not threatening them, you're creating a sense of intimacy that disarms their aggression. It's about shifting the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration. Of course, this technique requires careful observation and a sense of the other person's boundaries. The goal is not to intimidate, but to create a sense of shared space, fostering a more collaborative and less hostile environment. Chapter 7. The Benjamin Franklin Effect. Turning foes into friends with a simple favor. The Benjamin Franklin effect suggests we're more likely to do a favor for someone we've already helped. Our brain seeks consistency, justifying our actions by convincing ourselves we like the person. Instead of gifts, ask for a small favor. This can shift their perception, making them more receptive. Chapter 8. The door-in-the-face technique. Mastering the art of concession. Negotiation often involves requests, concessions, and compromises. The door-in-the-face technique uses contrast and reciprocity to influence outcomes. Imagine needing a friend to help you move. Start with a large request like painting all weekend. They decline, then you ask for a few hours of help. This seems more reasonable and they agree. This technique makes your actual request more appealing. Chapter 9. The Power of Nonverbals. Nodding your way to influence. Our final technique delves into the often overlooked realm of nonverbal communication and how subtle cues can significantly impact decision-making. We've all heard the phrase, "actions speak louder than words," and nowhere is this truer than in the subtle language of our bodies. Consider this: you're asking a colleague for a favor. As you make your request, you maintain direct eye contact and subtly nod your head. These seemingly insignificant actions can subtly influence their response. Studies have shown that people are more likely to agree with someone who maintains eye contact and nods affirmatively while speaking. These actions convey confidence, agreement, and a subtle expectation of compliance. The key, as with all these techniques, is subtlety. Avoid aggressive staring or frantic nodding, which can have the opposite effect. Instead, focus on maintaining comfortable eye contact and using subtle, natural nods to emphasize key points and subtly guide their response. Mastering these nonverbal cues can significantly enhance your persuasive abilities, making you a more effective communicator and influencer. Mastering the art of ethical influence. As we conclude our exploration of these powerful manipulation techniques, it's crucial to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. These techniques are not tools for coercion or deceit, but rather instruments for enhancing communication, building stronger relationships, and navigating social situations with greater awareness. Use them ethically, always considering the impact of your actions on others. Remember, the goal is not to control or manipulate, but to understand the subtle dynamics of human behavior and use that knowledge to create more positive and productive interactions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the art of influence, persuasion, and self-development. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep mastering the fascinating world of human behavior.